of the Independent Commission on Banking.
In her speech this week, between talking about freedom of speech and the Eurozone, the Queen made some startling revelations.
My government intends to bring forward measures to maintain the ability of the law enforcement and intelligence agencies to access vital communications data under strict safeguards to protect the public, subject to scrutiny of draft clauses.
What that actually means is that controversial plans to store details of everyone's email, Facebook, text and internet use will be passed into law despite a furious backlash from privacy groups, and proposals for a massive extension of secret courts are to go ahead as well. At the moment, basic information like phone numbers and email addresses can be accessed by the police and intelligence services. This draft bill extends that to include your social network sites like Facebook and Twitter, in fact, any method of communication. They'll also be able to track what websites you visit, all without the need for external authorisation. Ministers insist that a warrant will still be needed to look at the content of emails and calls. But civil liberties groups like Big Brother Watch have slammed the plan.
We have a very simple reaction, is that democracies don't spy on their citizens, irrespective of whether suspected of any crimes or not. Before you could communicate privately in the same way as you use the post. But now, every time you send an email, there'll be a record kept of when, of who you've emailed. If you make a phone call, if you make a Skype call, if you use Facebook, every time you communicate with someone online, a record will be held of that.
The Home Office says the move is needed for national security because the authorities currently have no coverage of a quarter of all communications data. The government has outlined a number of safeguards which they hope will ease fears. They include a 12-month limit to storing information and strengthening independent oversight. But campaigners are not convinced.
Britain is already a place with a lot of exceptional laws and repressive laws. We have the highest number of CCTV cameras keeping tabs on us than any country in the world. It's got a very bad track record, Britain, of supporting civil liberties.
The draft bill now has to go to Parliament to be debated. A similar attempt by Labour failed. Civil liberty groups will be hoping this one doesn't get through either. Press TV, London.